Welcome. Another episode. Truth Talk Nation presents episode 8. This is a good one. This is Judo Wokes, and I'd like to welcome you to the show today. Alright, we got a good one today about the Human Chop Shop update. We had been doing episodes, I want to say last year we did a few episodes of Truth Talk Nation that we was talking about in Detroit, the human trafficking and the missing kids, missing children in the state of Michigan. And so, as we're gonna backtrack first before we go to the new news with the update on the Human Chop Shop that ranged from Detroit, Chicago, all the way down to Arizona. It was like a human pipeline. You had, missing body parts in different containers. You had, buckets of penises. You had heads, buckets of heads everywhere. This was just a regular chop shop, like a car chop shop. I couldn't believe it. So we're gonna get this was what 3 years ago, I want to say, in Detroit. They had broke this news when they had found this little chop shop area on the east side of Detroit that was shipping stuff all the way down to Arizona. So this is an old story, so we're gonna back it up before we go forward. Here we go.
Investigation of a business deal that deals in human body parts shifting from Detroit to Chicago as the feds launch a new raid.
And once again, hundreds of families will be left wondering if the bodies of loved ones have been bought and sold on the black market.
7 Action News investigator Jim Kirchner is here tonight with a story you'll see only on 7. Jim?
Stephen and Carolyn, this case started here, according to sources, when a man named Arthur Rathburn was shipping human body parts through Metro Airport. Get this, the box leaked blood. Those cargo haulers then called for help. Why were you stockpiling hundreds of human body parts here, sir? That's Art Rathburn. And remember his business 13 months ago? For 2 days, federal investigators dressed in hazmat suits removed body parts of 1,000 different people. Arms, legs, heads cut up and kept on ice, not embalmed, so they would be fresh for the black market. Today, the rundown warehouse on Detroit's east side is shuttered and up for sale. Sources say Rathburn's seized records led them to the Chicago area today, a business called Biological Resource Center in Rosemont. It's difficult to see from the outside, but sources say the hazmat suits and raid are underway on the 6th floor of this office building. The same paper trail led investigators to Biological Resource Center in Phoenix last January, and another raid removing body parts and corpses. There were also ties to similar businesses in Las Vegas. Since these dealt directly with the public, families were left without answers. Julie donated her husband Steve's body and was promised his cremated remains back in a month.
Confused and angry. We thought this was going to be doing some good. Yet it doesn't sound like it is.
What do you say to all those families who had no idea their loved ones were in here? Michigan pulled Art Rathburn's license last year.
See, this is what I'm talking about. This guy's not arrested or nothing. You don't know if he was mixing in body parts that was donated and body parts that was stolen, simply kidnapped. And look at this guy. They're just going to revoke his license. This is right here, white supremacy at its heights.
Are reporting, even though they were told about his problems 2 years before.
You can go find out what the heck he is doing, and that wasn't done. Right?
Did we do something 2 years ago? No, we didn't. Are we doing an investigation now? Yes, we are.
Are you working?
Yeah, they doing an investigation now. They don't care. You got white privilege. Let's get off this story. As you see, let's backtrack some more. In Chicago, body parts found in the alley.
Yeah, these body parts are actually being looked at by the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office right now to determine if they are human. They appear to be internal organs, but we have no idea how they got here.
It seemed like a scene out of the Saw movies.
These construction workers say they see a whole lot of strange things.
Oh, that's kind of crazy right there.
But today was next level.
Hopefully it wasn't a human.
And you see why all these kids and all these people is missing around the U.S. and around the world, but particularly in the U.S. Pay close attention, because you got human chop shops all over the country. They got so many human parts, they just falling out of buildings. They got so many human parts. They got thousands of bodies.
As they dangled from the side of the building at the corner of Benton Place and Wabash, police investigators were digging in a dumpster marked Chick-fil-A.
Seen them laying on the ground and figured they need to be taken care of.
Real gruesome.
What was that? Marked what? Let's go back. Chick-fil-A. They filleting humans up, and it might be in the Chick-fil-A. This.
Our Chick-fil-A.
Seen them laying on the ground and figured they need to be taken care of.
Real gruesome sight. Just nasty.
A security guard for the Chicago Theater says he actually saw them Thursday.
One of my buddies come by that's taking the trash out from one of the other businesses over here, and he tells me, hey man, I just saw some hearts down at the end of the alley. I'm like, what you mean, some hearts?
He says he couldn't tell if they were human either.
Like, real looking hearts. One that was cut in half, you can see the chambers and everything on the inside.
He didn't report the hearts yesterday.
They were fresh.
But today, an engineer walked by the same dumpster and called police.
Some of them were wrapped in bubble wrap, and then some of them were just sitting out in the open. About.
They got them wrapped in bubble wrap. They getting shipped through the mail. Fresh. They wrapping these shits in bubble wraps. They wrapping arms in bubble wrap, hearts, and shipping them. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back.
4 or 5 of them.
Police say they are looking at security camera footage from this area to see who interacted with that Chick-fil-A dumpster that you can see right behind me. We are still waiting tonight for an update from the medical examiner.
As you see, all these people is in on it. They donating Chick-fil-A dumpsters so they can ship out these fresh body parts. All these billionaires and millionaires, most of them is in on it. They know about this shit. They got a deep web right now, black web, where you can buy body parts if you know the site. If you can get in. Let's give you an update what's going on. This came out a couple days ago. Hold on, let me see. This is the last story, the update to all these body parts that was found in Detroit some years ago. Then some months later after that in Chicago's body parts just dangling from the side, fresh hearts. And all this shit happened to be dealing with this company called Biological down in Phoenix. So let's give you the update on this story about them down in Phoenix that was accepting all these body parts.
5 years since ABC 15 first exposed a scandal involving a body donation business in Phoenix.
A place known as the Biological Resource Center, and a place with one promise.
Connects those who wish to donate their body to science with medical research and education facilities.
Turns out the donation was just the beginning.
The owner accused of selling bodies and body parts. A trial set to begin in just months. And tonight, new grisly details of what the FBI says really happened.
ABC 15's Nicole Valdez is live. And Nicole, this paints a Frankenstein-like picture.
Yeah, it really does. Katie and Steve, closed for years. This building off 24th Street and University doesn't look like much, but according to new claims in these court documents, the Biological Resource Center was essentially running a chop shop for human body parts, mixing, matching, and selling them in ways we never heard of until tonight. Described as unsettling, but it sounds a whole lot worse. One FBI agent revealing what it was really like inside the Phoenix body donation facility. In 2014, he saw everything from buckets of heads, arms, and legs to coolers filled with severed penises when the FBI raided the building.
What was that? Let's go back. See, all these stories are similar. They got just dumpsters and buckets full of body parts. They got so many damn body parts, they fall on every goddamn where. They got thousands of heads. Where they getting them from? People just donating them? Everybody's donating all their bodies. Come on now. Let's go back.
And angry. We thought this was good.
This is the company Biological Resource Center that had a connection to Chicago and a connection to Detroit. And this is where a lot of action is going on, a lot of crime, a lot of missing people. You know what I'm saying? From Detroit, Chicago area. And how you know they not shipping them down to Biological, and they was wrapping them in a bubble jet and shipping them out on the net, shit on order from PayPal. I don't know. Allegedly.
Doing some good.
He even spotted a smaller head sewn onto a larger torso in a, quote, Frankenstein manner.
It wasn't a choice we made. It wasn't a choice any of the families made.
Body parts piled on top of each other inside Biological Resource Center, where families donated their loved ones for medical research.
Discoveries of sickness and a disease, maybe come up with a cure.
Some say the company violated everything they promised.
And it's mighty funny. They not showing no black people. I mean, out of all them bodies, you don't have no black people. Nobody donated their bodies. They just showing the white families to make it seem, oh yeah, they donated. This was donated. Come on, man. It was more bodies in there that was unaccounted for. They don't know where they came from.
Tragedy that's never resolved. And it just keeps going on and deeper.
The limbs, according to that agent, with no apparent identification. The company sued months after the FBI raided families claiming their loved ones weren't treated with dignity and respect.
They just said it. Body parts with no identity.
According to that agent, with no apparent identification. The company sued months after the FBI raided families claiming their loved ones weren't treated with dignity and respect, a promise written on their own consent forms. The company also accused of selling body parts for profit after saying they'd only use the parts they needed and would cremate the ones they didn't and return them. A torso with a head apparently went for $2,400, a leg about $1,100. They'd even sell knees and feet alone for under $500.
Knees, feet, and toes. Knees, feet, and toes. They selling. They got prices for this shit. $1,100 for this. $500 for some feet. Shit. $3,500 for a heart. $2,400 for a head. What the fuck is they doing with this? They can't be doing experiments on some dead shit, could they? Or are they getting fresh shit to where they putting it on ice and shipping them out for surgeries to the rich? We already was talking about this. You got so many YouTube, so many shows about human trafficking and what they doing with body parts. This shit is just not a legend or some type of rumor. This shit is real. As you see, Truth Talk Nation, chop shops every goddamn where. I'm gonna go ahead and die down on that because that's disturbing, you know. Okay, we got another story of the girl that allegedly this disabled girl got jumped, and let's just watch it. This is in Chicago. Now this is a disabled girl. This is disturbing. I don't think I want to play too much, but as you see, you getting her she's getting beat up in an alley or somewhere by some hoe ass kids. Who knows what type of household they come from? Could be beating up a disabled girl that's mentally challenged. This shit is disturbing. You know what I'm saying? Chicago, man. What the hell? So we're gonna go ahead and go to this right here. Of the girls that jumped. The mentally disabled girl. I couldn't play too much because this is too disturbing. So this is the girls right here that beat her up. Look at them. Now they want to be what? Let's see what's happening. These are the girls that jumped the mentally disabled girl in the alley in Chicago.
I'm still on 95th and Eggleston, Mom. I'm still on 95th and Eggleston, Mom. Like that. 95th and Eggleston. Everybody, we're sorry. Please, just leave us alone. I'm sorry. Please. Oh my God.
That right there was disturbing. We gotta get shit like that together. You got black kids jumping at a disabled, mentally challenged girl in the alley and not apologizing and crying because people's getting at them on the net. People's really threatening them and shit and looking for these girls. You know what I'm saying? And that's a sad situation because this didn't even have to happen. And then to pick on a disabled girl and just beat her for the gram, you gotta get this shit together, yo. That's some fucked up shit. But as I said, I digress on that. But we got another story with the ICE agent that breaks my man's car. You know what I'm saying? I guess he had a warrant out. I see a lot of foreigners now It's the same shit that's been going on in black neighborhoods forever. But now it's happening all through the nation with the foreigners. They want to complain and tell them, you know, where's the black help? Where's the ADOS people? Please come to our help. You know? Malcolm X. Come on, man. We need justice. But these the same foreigners that was going against us and shit, calling us, you know, Katas and Abits and all this other bullshit and Negritas, you know, whatever the Spanish word they call them. But let's look at this right here with the cops trying to get my man out of his car because, you know, they got that warrant. And let me tell the foreigner something. They don't have to come with the paperwork. The paperwork has already been signed and done. So y'all keep yelling, "Where's the paperwork? You need paperwork from the judge." You don't need shit. You don't need shit. The shit is already signed and sealed, and you know what I'm saying. You got to get deported. So here's go right here. Here go the news clip right here.
Why?
What do you want to do? But this is my personal property, and you can't do that.
And you get taken back right now, right?
Where are you taking it?
And see, people is thinking like their rights is supposed to save them. Like they got some rights when you're going against ICE. ICE is a deportation agency, which means they don't need to roll up with no paperwork. All they got to see is you as a foreigner and you need to be deported, and they can use any force. So I would understand y'all to stop saying, "Yo, where's the paperwork? I'm not getting out. This is injustice." No.
Well, I know. Taking the test. It's your last opportunity, man.
You just can't do that. You know you can't do that.
And so, you know, and the cops, you know, if it was us in the hood, no, you can't do that. You need the paperwork. We'd have got shot. That's what my man say.
You just can't do that. You know you can't do that.
Look, we just wanted to see the warrant. That's all we're asking for.
He said he had a warrant.
Mr. Phillips, Officer Phillips.
Let's not go this route, buddy.
Okay, listen.
Change the outcome, okay?
Oh, I understand that.
We're
But
not,
at the
we're
same
not
time,
wanting to hear do anything. We don't want to scare your kids.
Okay,
but
listen.
you're already doing it.
What's that?
Oh, we don't want to scare your kids. We just want you out of there.
He's already doing it.
Officer Phillips.
Like we're talking. They said they want to talk. We're talking. Like,
okay. They're going to take you into custody this time. You're going to be placed under arrest.
Okay.
You're actually under arrest right now. You're just not in handcuffs yet.
Okay, but they say they have a warrant.
What's that?
They say they have
it's
a
so
warrant.
hard for me to hear, man.
They say they have a warrant.
Okay.
Where's the warrant?
That's all we want.
They've
Officer,
identified themselves to you.
you're not able to do that.
Floor don't. Floor don't.
This is actually nice. This is actually a nice arrest. This is one of the nicest arrests I have ever seen in a long time.
They got him on the ground.
As you see, you know. But that's ICE for you, and that's the immigration problem right now. But, you know, I have traveled all over the world. Some of these countries, I needed a visa. Or, you know, I used to let them know how long I stayed, you know. It used to be up to 6 months. But if you stayed over that time, you would get a warrant in these countries. And they will come looking for you, and you will get jailed for this. And so I guess a lot of Americans don't know this because they never been nowhere. They probably been on cruise ships to the Bahamas and shit where you don't need all that shit. But try flying in to Istanbul. Try flying in to Nigeria or China and see can you just skip out and become an immigrant. Okay. So I'm going to leave you with as you know, we like to leave you, Truth Talk Nation, with a speech from either a famous black person or a famous revolutionary. And today we got Stokely Carmichael. So once again, this is Judo Woke-Ace. I would like to thank you for tuning in to Truth Talk Nation Presents True News. And we'll see you next time. Peace.
You're one black man who went to a good, essentially white high school in the city of New York. You obviously had a good education. That's a good many of the people who work with you here in SNCC can say the same thing. And we're saying that, and you're a black man who came from a New York ghetto. And we're saying that there's a system that allows for one or two black people to get out. And that's the rationale for keeping other black people down. And it has nothing to do with the unwillingness or inability of the Negro to help himself and to work hard. That's the rationale, that the reason why black people aren't this is because they're lazy, unambitious, stupid, have rhythm, and they eat watermelon. You call on the black man to refuse to respond to his draft call. That's correct. And we will continue to do so while there's breath in our bodies. Do you really believe that the military policies of the United States are designed to exterminate the black man, as you've said? I most certainly do. I look at the recent statement by racist McNamara, who says that 30% of the people that are going to be drafted now under his new system are going to be black people. And that's nothing more than black urban removal. The white liberal who supported civil rights for so long with time and effort and money, what is your feeling about him? Well, I think that there's no reason why they should stop supporting the movement now. I certainly feel that if they're genuinely interested in black people, and since black people have charted a course, they believe in that program, they will continue to give to it. They need more white people to civilize whites. They need them to civilize the savages in Cicero, who throw rocks and bricks at a peaceful and lovable black man like Dr. Martin Luther King, who would not even hurt a fly. But that's very important, because our uncles and our fathers and our older brothers died in World War I fighting Nazism to protect the Poles, and those same Poles turn around and throw rocks and bricks at us after we died to save their lives. And people talk about we are savages. Mr. Carmichael, if you had the chance to stand up in front of the white community and say anything you desired, say to him, understand me, white man, what would you say? I would say, understand yourself, white man, that the white man's burden should not have been preached in Africa, but it should have been preached among you. That you need now to civilize yourself. You have moved to destroy and disrupt. You have taken people away. You have broken down their systems. And you have called all that civilization. And we who have suffered at this are now saying to you, you are the killers of the dreams. You are the savages. Yes, it is you who have always been uncivilized. Civilize yourself.
Wow. That's another episode.